welcome to the official press conference to announce the return of big-time boxing in the city of Detroit. Detroit is synonymous with great champions: Joe Louis, Sugar Robinson, Eddie Futch, Emmanuel Stewart. We have many of the people that have kept boxing alive in Detroit here in the audience, and I'd like to recognize some of them. Cornelius Bundrich, two-time world champion. Tom Boom Boom Johnson, featherweight world champion. Stand up, Tommy. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Bronco McCart, former champion of the world. Frank Garza, Hall of Fame boxing referee. Tony Harrison, former world champion, and LJ Harrison, not sure if they're here. Carlos Linas, longtime Detroit boxing promoter. Tariq Salmiki. Rydell Booker, heavyweight contender. Rydell. Damian Fuller, former world champion. Scotty Buck, longtime cover of Boxing in Detroit. And the legends, the queen of boxing, Jackie Callan. Kronk first champion, Hilmer Kenty. And of course, the one and only, Tommy the Hitman Hearns. Yeah. Stand up, Tommy. I'd like to invite Jackie, Tommy, Hilmer to take a picture with Claressa. Come.
I'm going to take one with Howard also, Dimitri. He'll join you in a minute.
Mark.
I'm looking over here too.
The legacy of big-time boxing in Detroit will continue on June 3rd when Claressa Shields makes a defense of her undisputed middleweight world crowns against current light heavyweight champion Hannah Gabriels of Costa Rica. This event would not be possible without 313 Presents, and I'd like to invite its president, Howard Handler, to talk about the event on June 3rd.
Good morning. Thanks to everyone for coming out today and for being a little patient with us. As Detroit's premier live entertainment company, 313 Presents is really excited to bring the first ever boxing event to Little Caesars Arena in partnership with Salita Promotions. I want to thank a bunch of people. First and foremost, Dimitri Salita, Mark Taffet, Hector Cordova, Lou DiBella, and Claressa Shields, and we'll thank Hannah Gabriels when she's here. 313 Presents promotes and produces 350 concerts, theatrical productions, sporting events, and family shows at 6 world-class venues. We entertain 2 million people annually across southeastern Michigan, and today we are in the heart of downtown Detroit. This world-class venue, Little Caesars Arena, hosts some of the biggest tours in the world, which helps rank us among the top 10 arenas in the nation year after year. It's great to say now we can add boxing to our portfolio. Detroit's boxing scene has a rich history that has produced and embraced numerous champions, from the great Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson to the hitman Tommy Hearns to Hilmer Kenty, who are joining us today, which is fantastic, and now Claressa Shields. What a main event to kick off boxing at Little Caesars Arena. It will be an epic night. Sports and entertainment captivate us and everybody who come together cheering for their favorite team, player, artist, or song, and now boxer. You feel part of something that's very special, and there's nothing like an arena at full capacity. The buzz is exhilarating, and it inspires us to create moments for our community to take part in. That weekend, many sports fans from near and far will be able to experience our beautiful city with Shields versus Gabriel, taking place on June 3rd, and the Detroit Grand Prix the following day. We're more than ready for an action-packed night of boxing in Detroit on June 3rd. It'll be a historic night, and we're really so excited that you can all be a part of it. Thank you very much.
Claressa versus Hannah Gabriels first happened in 2018. Hannah was the top 10 pound-for-pound fighter, current world champion. And when we started working with Claressa, Claressa told me, Dimitri, please make the biggest and the best fights. Many told us that it was too big of a step, but Claressa believed in herself. And the week of the fight, Hannah's manager came to me, said, Dimitri, you think this is going to be an easy fight? You're in for a big surprise. And I nicely shrugged him off, shook his hand, say thank you. And then the first round happened, and Hannah dropped Claressa. And my heart sunk, as well as that of thousands of fans watching it. And today, earlier, he came to me, he said, you thought the first fight was tough? You ain't seen nothing yet, man. We're coming for victory. So I said, save it for the press conference. So you can speak your piece now. Come.
Hello, guys. I first want to thank Dimitri Solita, Mark Taffet, and of course Claressa Shields, that she loves me, for the opportunity. Thank you very much. Well, the first fight, you guys know exactly what happened. For this second fight, we're nothing but just going all in. This is going to be fireworks. Hannah has been staying in shape. She's been dreaming about this rematch. It took them 5 years to give us the rematch, but we finally got it. Every single opponent that Claressa has had, she's been looking amazing. She's been looking dominant. She's been, even with Savannah Marshall, I thought Savannah Marshall was going to win, to be completely honest with you guys. And then when I saw her in the ring, Claressa just did her thing, and she looked nothing but amazing. Congratulations.
Give it up for the GOAT once again. Once again.
I'll give it up for you. She looked amazing, but it did took her 5 years to give us a rematch. So that must tell you something. Hannah dropped her in the first round, and Hannah's going to drop her again. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you for all you guys being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hector. We'll see you on June 3rd, yeah?
I'll see you June 3rd.
All right. Claressa Shields is known as the GOAT. As a young girl growing up in Flint, Michigan, one of the most challenged places in the United States, every day of her life, she made a choice to stay away from bad influences, from friends, from drinking, from smoking, from hanging out, and she made a choice to go to the gym. Became an Olympic gold medalist one time, felt that the time wasn't right to turn pro, waited another 4 years, won multiple world championships and elite tournaments as an amateur, won a second Olympic gold medal, and then turned pro. Claressa is incredible inside the ring and incredible outside the ring. She has a championship team with John David Jackson, former Kronk fighter, won his first title here in Detroit, and she's managed by one of the Hall of Fame people in the boxing industry. He has promoted and developed some of the greatest fighters and some of the greatest fights in our sport: Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Lennox Lewis, Manny Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya, and the list goes on. I'd like to invite Mark Taffet, who I have the great honor of working with in promoting Claressa, to talk about this fight.
Thank you very much, Dimitri. First of all, I want to thank all of you who are here today, who are showing your support of Claressa Shields and your support of Detroit boxing. It's a legacy. It's a legacy that's been earned for decades and generations. A lot of people put in a lot of hard work. Those people outside the ring, people like Frank Garza and the promoters that are here, Jackie Callan, who managed through decades of fighters and the ups and downs that come with that, and achieved enormous success and a Hall of Fame career. Most importantly, all of the great fighters, those who aren't here with us today, and all of those, and including the legends who are with us. Bronco McCart, who not only was a wonderful champion when he fought professionally, but he really wears that badge of Detroit boxing proudly and rigorously. He defends the history of Detroit boxing like it's his own history. And that says a lot about Bronco, and it speaks very highly of Michigan and Detroit boxing. So Bronco, thank you. Pleasure to see you. And I want to know how you still look so good, because, boy, you're looking younger every year. Jackie Callan is a decades-long friend of mine. I admire her as the day I met her. There were not a lot of women in boxing, and it wasn't cool to be a woman in boxing when Jackie started out. And she didn't know about walls that she couldn't bust through. She didn't know about fences and barriers that she couldn't climb and jump over. In 1991, when I started HBO pay-per-view, and the very second fight we did was featured two middleweights, one by the name of James Toney, one by the name of Michael Nunn. Not a bad little fight for Davenport, Iowa, Jackie, right? And we went to that was the true field of dreams under a bridge in the cornfields of Iowa. But Jackie was there. And boy, did she make her presence known. You didn't mess with her. You didn't go against your word. You didn't break a contract. If you said it, you did it, or you had to deal with Jackie. And the second toughest person in that circle was James Toney. So Jackie, we'll give it to you. I did my business with you. James was cool on the business. But thank you very much for your friendship over the years, and much continued success, and for being a part of our team here. Hilmer Kente, what can you say? I mean, the original, the first, the Detroit boxer to win a title and put Detroit boxing on the map. Emmanuel Stewart, a dear, dear friend of mine. I worked with Emmanuel over the years at HBO. He was quite the special man. He not only did he know his stuff, boy did he know his stuff, but he imparted it, he shared it with people. He had a heart of gold. And, you know, I almost come to tears when I think about him. He was a big man with a lot of heart, shared it with everybody, and I miss him like heck. But he sure put his name on Kronk Gym and on Detroit boxing. Thomas Hearns, one of the reasons I got into this business and followed this sport was because of Thomas Hearns. Boy, you want to talk about the epitome of a boxer, of an athlete, of a guy who gets in there. Tommy never gave 100%. Anybody who says that, come on. Tommy gave about 300%. It was unbelievable. He didn't leave anything in that ring when that fight was over. Everybody still talks about the greatest 3-round fight they ever saw. It happens to be the greatest fight I ever saw, but it only lasted 3 rounds. Happened to involve a guy named Tommy Hearns. He was part of that incredible quartet. Tommy, Sugar Ray, Marvin, and Roberto Duran. And boy, did they give thrills and chills to people who were boxing fans and many people who weren't. You know, those were the 4 horsemen in my mind. And Tommy, can't thank you enough for all. I know how hard you worked. We know how much time and effort you put in and how much you sacrificed. But boy, you really gave it back, and we love you, and please give Tommy the hand he deserves. I want to thank Dimitri Salita, who has been with us as Claressa's promoter for every fight except one in her professional career. And Dimitri's been just a sheer pleasure to work with. Former champion boxer himself, knows the sport, truly knows and understands boxers like very few promoters do. When Dimitri tells a boxer he's going to do something, he does it. It's way too rare a quality in the sport. But it is so greatly appreciated by me, I know by Claressa, and Dimitri, you know we're in your corner, and thank you for all your efforts. We appreciate it. I spent many years working on some great fights at Madison Square Garden. Made a dear friend there, the head of revenue at the Garden, who happened to be the head of boxing as well, Joel Fisher. Well, Joel called me and said, there's a guy named Howard Handler I want you to meet. I think you're going to like him, Mark, because he's a lot like me, meaning a lot like Joel. And that's all I had to hear. And Howard and I got on the phone, and I think in 15 minutes we felt like we knew each other for 20 years. And Joel was right. Wonderful guy, salt of the earth person, runs a great organization out here, has a great team of people. Every one of the folks I've met and worked with here from 313 Presents has been a pleasure, hardworking, professional. Howard told me, and he was right. Howard, thank you very much for your support. This building is very, very, very important to us and to Claressa Shields, and I'll let her speak about it. From my perspective, I can tell you this. I opened with Jerry Jones Cowboy Stadium for boxing with Manny Pacquiao and Joshua Clottey. And when Yankee Stadium got rebuilt, being a Jersey kid, there's nothing that meant more to me than being the first fight in Yankee Stadium where we brought Miguel Cotto against Yuri Foreman. Yuri Foreman, by the way, was the other well-known Jewish boxer other than Dmitry Salita. And now, to be here, to be part of history again, the very first fight at Little Caesars Arena. You can only be first once, and it lasts forever. And boy, do I love this. It gives me chills to do this. Claressa Shields has been telling Dmitry and I, you got to get me a Little Caesars, you got to get me a Little Caesars. Well, we met Howard Handler. Claressa did her job in the ring, Lord knows, and saw it. And there we go. We're here today. I met Claressa Shields in 2016, and she had just come through her second gold medal. We had a lot of long conversations about whether she should turn pro or continue in the Olympics. And it was not an easy decision for her. And one thing I learned quick about Claressa is she makes her own decisions. Her eyes and her ears are wide open. She sees everything, she hears everything, she processes, she digests, and she usually comes up with the right conclusion. And after a lot of conversation, Claressa said, I'm ready, let's go do it. And I made the commitment to her that every one of her fights would make history. That if she did her job in the ring, I'd be sure to do mine outside the ring. Now, pretty easy to say when you got somebody like this in the ring, because I always tell people, other than Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones, the number 3 in my group, the third of the best 3 I've ever seen fight, Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones, Claressa Shields, and not necessarily in that order. She has God-given abilities, not once in a decade, not once in a century, once in a lifetime ability you just don't see. And to watch her grow over the last 6.5 years and see what she's learned from her fights, from her trainers, just incredible. I mean, this is a very, very special thing to see. It's art that moves before your eyes. Artists paint on a canvas, Claressa paints on a canvas too. And when she does it, you gotta be there. We all know her backstory. It breaks your heart to think that a child has to endure what Claressa Shields endured. People are lucky to survive what she went through. She didn't just survive. Somehow she thrived. Somehow she made it out of the issues and the doldrums and the hole she was in, got into a boxing gym, and became a 2-time Olympic gold medal winner? That's impossible. That cannot be true. And in fact, it's such an amazing story that it's going to be the subject at the end of 2023 of a theatrical film. Where actors and actresses will portray Claressa and the people around her through her life up through the Olympic gold medal win. But she earned it, she deserved it. No one worked harder, but you know what? People dream big. The funny thing about Claressa, they weren't dreams. Claressa saw all of this as her reality, and she just went about every day taking steps forward that would enable her to do what she knew she was put on this earth to do. And she doesn't just do it in the ring with her magnificent ability. She treats people outside the ring like they're all kings and queens and princes and princesses. She takes care of children outside the ring as if they were her own. She never meets a child that she doesn't fall in love with. She gives her heart and her soul to kids with activities through her gym, through her foundations. Very, very special young woman. She transcends boxing. She transcends sports. She's got a lot of Billie Jean King and Muhammad Ali in her. I always said to her, on her broad shoulders, she's the Charles Atlas, and on her broad shoulders, women's boxing will be carried. She's carried it pretty darn well so far, and she's going to continue to carry it. You know when Claressa Shields will stop fighting? When she's accomplished every goal she has. That's the simple answer, and she's well on her way. I love her. I respect her. I admire her, and every day is a fun day with her. She is tough. She's a challenge. You can't just say, how about this, and she says yes. You got to go through it all, and you got to convince her, and she's a hard person to convince. But when Claressa Shields says yes, you can take that to the bank. She's as good as gold. And I am thrilled to have been with her. It's been an amazing journey. I'm thrilled that we could bring this fight here to Detroit and check off another one of the bucket list boxes and elements that Claressa has. And boy, one thing about her, the great ones rise to the occasion. This is a real meaningful occasion for her. Wait till you see what she's going to look like. She did it with Hannah Gabriels the first time. She got knocked down. Everybody was standing up and screaming, "Oh my God, oh my God." I sat still with my hands across my lap, and people said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Nothing. Wait till you see what happens now." And I remember when Floyd Mayweather got hit in the second round of his fight with Shane Mosley, and Shane knocked him across the ring into the ropes. Wasn't a second for the rest of that fight that Shane Mosley was in it. And I don't mean this disrespectfully at all, because I love Hannah and Hector, and they're very professional, but there really wasn't a second after that that Claressa wasn't in control. Because that's what the great ones do. And Claressa, she did it when she fought with Savannah Marshall, like I expected. And in the UK, they booed her when she walked in. They booed the national anthem. Trust me, they were singing poetry and singing that national anthem and cheering for Claressa Shields on the way out. We know we don't have to worry about that in Detroit. It'll start from the get-go. But we are pleased to be here. I'm thrilled to introduce the one, the only, the trademarked, quote, Claressa Shields.
Well. First, I want to give an honor and thank you to God for just blessing me and my team to make it here. I want to thank Little Caesars for giving us this opportunity. I want to thank Hannah Gabriels and her team for accepting this opportunity and, coming and testing their luck against me once again. This is a dream come true for me. Born and raised in Flint, Michigan, right down the street from Detroit. I have come to many games here to watch the Pistons play. Me and my grandmother watched the Pistons play on TV when they won the championship. And now to actually be here, here in Detroit, fighting where the Pistons play, 15,000 fans. This was unheard of in women's boxing when I turned pro. We weren't even getting a chance to fight on TV, and no world champion was getting paid over $10,000 to $15,000. That's ridiculous. And I felt that way when I turned pro. I had to make the decision to either stay amateur and go back and win the Olympics like I knew I could, or turn pro and join the fight to fight for women's equality. I did that, and I took on the biggest challenges. One of my biggest challenges was Hannah Gabriels. Back then, I had 2 belts, and I was 5-0. Hannah Gabriels was 1-1. And the girl that beat her, she came back and beat her. So we knew Hannah Gabriels was a dog. We knew that she was, she was a really good fighter. She was 3-time division world champion then. So for her to knock me down and that to be her biggest accomplishment of her career is, it's kind of ironic, I think. And I think that if we're going to talk about somebody being knocked down, we can't forget to talk about how she lost. Mark was absolutely right. The knockdown pissed me off because it was a flash knockdown. Now, I don't know if Mark will recall, but after the fight, I was in the back of the car after winning, very upset and very frustrated. And Mark said, "Claressa, what's wrong?" I was just like, I want to fight her some more. Mark, you make sure you give me that rematch. And Mark and Dimitri tried immediately after. It wasn't us that was turning down the fight. Hector, stop it. Nobody's scared of Hannah Gabriels. Stop it, Hector. And also, Hector was on Instagram. I had to block him because he kept harassing me online, talking shit to me online, saying I was scared of Hannah Gabriels for months. And I kept telling Dimitri and Mark, set the fight up. Let's go. And they made plenty of offers. Now, just so I can be factual, in the last 4 years, I fought 8 times. I'm 13-0, Hector. Hannah Gabriels has fought 3 times. She has been inactive. She's fighting as heavyweight now. We fought at 160. But she's in the best shape of her life, and she's coming to knock me down, and I won't get back up. I can't wait to hear the story till after the fight, because that's not going to happen. I'm going to finish the job this time. I beat her unanimously after being knocked down. And this time, I don't want a unanimous decision. I want the knockout. She's able to get knocked out. It's happened to her before. I'm able to get knocked down. It happened to me before. But I got up and I won. And I'm fighting here in Detroit in front of all my family, all my friends, and I'm fighting in front of the United States. Hannah Gabriels is in for a world heat of trouble come June 3rd. Y'all want to be there because this is the fight that's going to solidify what I've been saying, that there's no girl, not many men in this world that can get in the ring with me and take me. I'm a problem. I'm from Flint, Michigan. I want all the smoke. Whoever got the smoke, let's go. Let's fight. And, you know, just the fact, Hannah Gabriels was a pretty nice girl. Let's not get that wrong. But I'm not and have not been scared of nobody. I have traveled the world and fought against girls who are way bigger than Savannah Marshall. I mean, way bigger than Hannah Gabriels. Way stronger than Hannah Gabriels. And I've come on top. So to say that I've been ducking her for, what do you say, 5 years? That's a lie. I have not ducked nobody. That's why we make the fight now. If I've been ducking her for 5 years, you might as well just be like, hey, whatever. I don't care about how old she is. You guys wanted to fight. I do my job. I do my job, Hector. And if I'm not scared of you, I would be scared of Hannah Gabriels. I almost fought him. We were at some fights and he kept trying to talk to me. I'm like, bro, is you for real? Like, he tried to talk. He was talking trash to me. I got the video and I'll post it later on Instagram if you want to be for real. Michaela and Jenny got it. And I told him, don't be talking to me because I don't do the whole, don't be talking to me if you know we ain't cool like that. I ain't fake. I'm real. And I can't help but to be real because of where I'm from. So, all that trying to be fake and phony and stuff, don't do that with me. If you don't like me, I thank you. You ain't gotta like me. But ain't nobody ever gonna disrespect me to my face. Because I'm about that. And I've been about that. And I'll be about that June 3rd. So thank all y'all for being here, for coming here. I hope Hannah Gabriels can make it here safely and speak her piece. Because the truth is, I've always wanted smoke with her after we fought. And I don't know why it didn't happen, but to say that it happened because I didn't want it to happen and that I was scared is very inaccurate. And like I said, I have traveled the world and I've been very active this past 8 years fighting at 160 and 154. And I can't wait to fight and defend my undisputed world championship that I beat Savannah Marshall for in the UK. I can't wait to defend that here, June 3rd, at Little Caesars Arena. Thank you, guys.
June 3rd, right here at Little Caesars Arena, live on the zone in the United States, Australia, and New Zealand. We're very grateful for this opportunity. Hannah Gabriels is on her way. She's going to be here in 15 minutes. And meanwhile, we'll take questions from the press.
Dimitri, I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
Did you ever send me an offer for a rematch?
Yes.
When? Don't lie.
I'm not lying.
When did you send an offer for a rematch?
We're,
Don't lie to your fighter, Dimitri. Don't lie to your fighter.
we have spoken several times about the rematch, and it just never happened. So, you have,
Wait, so y'all never talked about it either?
of course
No.
we talked about
You
it.
never had a conversation?
No.
You have a promoter? You have a promoter? You have a promoter that you should
Oh,
speak
so you
with.
spoke to Luke.
Of course.
And that never happened because of Luke.
I don't know why it didn't happen. I don't want to put responsibility. At the end of the day, it's the fighter that gets into the ring. But
We
you know
never
what?
got
The
a
most
vote.
important thing is that you have the opportunity to prove
Dimitri,
us wrong.
talk, both of you, talk to the microphones. There's a few people here would like to hear
You
what you're
have the
saying.
opportunity to prove everybody wrong on June 3rd.
That's what we're going to do.
What happened doesn't matter.
No, but I mean, she's stating facts. Like she said, I was harassing her. She was the one harassing me.
Why
There's a
would I-
video. There's a video.
Why would I have to harass you?
Terrence Crawford versus Jose Benavidez Jr. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and why'd you speak to me after I blocked you on Instagram? Why'd you speak to me for? Why was you being
Did I speak to you?
sarcastic? Yes.
Was I being sarcastic just by saying hello, Claressa Shields? You were with me.
You know that me and you don't rock, so why would you speak to me?
Face.
Why would you speak to me?
Because
You know that me and you don't rock. No, you know I don't
like.
like you. You know that you've been going around saying that I was scared of Hannah Gabriels. You know that I don't like you, so why speak to me?
It's a sport inside the ring. Outside the ring, we're supposed to
Outside
be
the ring and
normal
inside the
people
ring, the
with
same
etiquette.
thing. No, do not speak. If you don't like me, if I'm scared of her, don't say nothing to me.
That's the problem. It's not that I don't like you. It's just I don't care for you. That's it.
And I don't.
I'm sorry.
And guess what?
And then you got Mark Taffet after you
And
came
guess
at me
what?
and you insulted me and you spit on my face and you got Mark Taffet
I
giving
spit in
me
your
a call,
face.
giving me a
He
call,
lying.
telling me
So wait a
to
minute.
harass
So I spit on
me.
you?
Don't
Did
raise
I?
your voice.
Did I spit on you? You said I spit on you. You said I spit on you. I spit on you.
Call me Calamari and tell her to send you the video.
Is you crazy? I ain't
And
never.
You said you were gonna break my face and
I've
you
ne-
called me a faggot and you called me a Twinkie
Yeah.
Wonder.
First of all, now I did call you fat. Now that I did do, but what name did you call me on Instagram? I just called you what you were saying to me, face to your face.
No,
See, you was real tough when you
never
was.
insult a woman. Have a
Bro,
good time.
he's fucking lying, man. This is ridiculous.
If it's on
This is
Instagram,
ridiculous, bro. Look,
screenshot it.
first of all,
Show it to the world.
if I can find it in my phone, I will because I always keep receipts.
Do it.
But for you to sit here and say that I spit on you, that's a lie. I've never spit on nobody in my life.
You spit on my face.
I spit on you?
Yes.
Like
you told
Hawk
me-
and spit?
Tell me who's the greatest woman of all times, and I told you my mom, because I do believe my mom is the greatest woman of all time.
And then I spit on you.
Yes.
Man, he crazy, man. This is ridiculous.
little bit.
I already knew he's about to come here and lie, but to say I spit on him is like, that's low. I already thought you was pretty low because of how you act already, but you real low. Like you below like the earth low. You like bedrock low.
Okay.
You like garbage low.
All right.
Like he's sitting here lying. I've never spit on nobody in my life.
And that's. the
I ain't never
thing we were
spit
just
on
talking
nobody.
about.
Now I
I'm the
may
one harassing and
talk some
disrespecting
trash and I may whatever. I ain't never spit on nobody. He's sitting here. He want to be like, oh, I'm the victim. She
No,
called
I'm
me
not
fat.
victim.
She hurt my feelings.
No.
No. Stop it, bro. Stop
Not
it.
at all.
You was a grown man. Be honest. So you said I spit on you, but you want to say hello to me.
There's a
Come
video
on, bro.
of it.
Bro, it's a video of me about to walk up and clean your shit because you kept talking to me. That's what the video was.
That's the
That's what the
etiquette.
video was,
That's the etiquette
but
we're
no,
talking
I didn't spit on you though, and I had already told you, do not be talking to me. Then you
And
was
you
like,
said
ha
I'm
ha
harassing
ha, yeah, cause you
And
scared of
in
Hannah
that video,
Gabriels.
I'm putting my hands behind my back and I'm telling you, do whatever you want to do, and I'm just smiling. And you're.
I'm gonna post the video because you know I got it right.
Please post it.
So when I post it,
Please post it.
I'm gonna tag you because you know one, I didn't
At Ferkovox.
spit on you. That's for one,
That
and
was at the
then
fight when you spit at me.
You stupid.
Inside the ring. Don't call
inside
me
the
stupid.
ring.
Don't
Wait,
call me stupid.
wait
So-
a minute. So I spit on you inside
You're
the
a
ring
lady,
with.
Claressa.
I spit on you
You're
inside the
not
ring
going
with
to-
Terrence
Mark
Crawford.
Taffet just
When did I spit on you?
perpetuated-
When did
Mark
I spit on
Taffet
you?
Just perpetuated you as a lady inside and outside.
When
All right,
did
guys.
you spit on?
We'll,
When
we'll
did I
save it.
spit on you?
We'll save it for June 3rd. But
Let's
as
save
you
it
can
for
see,
June
the
3rd.
tension is real. The
He's a
tension is-
liar. He's sick in the head.
Hector, Hector, I have one question.
Yes, sir.
Can you make 160?
I don't think so. But I bet any way they show
Hector,
up, she can whoop
if
my
you can
ass.
make 160, we might be able to do it.
I can't believe this man just lied like that. Said I spit on him. That's crazy.
As you see, the tension is real, and Hannah is going to be here in a couple of minutes to speak for herself.
He's sick.
Hi, this question's for Mark. I'm Brad Snyder from Fight News. Sure. You said, just going off the quote you just had here, you said there wasn't a second left where Shields wasn't in control of the first fight after the Flash knockdown. And then Shields got up there and said that she's inactive, was fighting at a weight that's very high. Why the rematch then? Is this something that Shields just wants because of the knockdown, or why the rematch if it was
Yes,
so
I'll
dominant?
tell you. First of all, Hannah Gabriels is a 4-division world champion. She's one of the most talented and qualified women in the sport today. Clearly a top 10 fighter. And she's deserved the opportunity to participate in big fights. She did something that no woman has ever done to Claressa Shields. Professional or amateur. She put her on her butt. And I know I'm within striking distance of Claressa, but I'll say, you can call it a flash knockdown, but it's a knockdown. And anytime you get knocked down, you might not get up. And no one has ever done that to Claressa Shields except Hannah Gabriels. And when you see Hannah, I will promise you're going to see an athlete who's fit and ready. She takes care of herself. She wants this fight badly, and she has all the ability in the world. I guarantee you, in her mind, if she did it once, she doesn't think she can do it again. She's positive she can do it again. And I'll tell you something else. Claressa Shields won those rounds, but Hannah Gabriels fought. She fought all the way through. She threw punches, she threw flurries, and she made Claressa fight. Claressa fought a frenetic pace the rest of that fight, but she did it because there was a woman in front of her that made her fight like that. That's going to be no different on June 3rd. It's going to be an incredible fight in the ring. Whether or not there are knockdowns either way remains to be seen. But that's why she's there, and she deserves it.
Yes.
From Latino Detroit, two-part question. Recently this year and the latter part of last year, you've been seen at different promoter shows in the Detroit area and bringing your boxers and getting them on other promoters' fight cards. And you've also been looking at other Detroit area boxers. Will you be featuring your Detroit boxers on this card? And will you also be showing some other of the Detroit boxers on your card? Second part of the question is, Danzen has a history of showing the undercard free stream in the past. Will you allow Danzen to show the preliminary bouts on this particular card for the world to see our boxers?
Thank you for the question. So, from our perspective, boxing has to be inclusive. And the Detroit boxing community is not very small, but very vibrant. And we want to bring everybody together. And the goal of the show is to showcase some of the better talent that is here in Detroit in the state of Michigan. All the fights are going to be streamed and either shown on the Zone or on social media. And we're going to feature such talented fighters like Joseph Hicks, U.S. Olympic team captain, Joshua Pagan, U.S. national champion, undefeated junior welterweight, Deval Smith, undefeated middleweight, WBC Big Four champion from the Crown Gym, and many other fighters. The undercard will be announced shortly. Hassan Al-Mashadi is here in the audience. He's an undefeated welterweight prospect, very exciting. There's different communities in Detroit, different fighters that are very talented, national amateur champions, undefeated pros, and the goal of this event, and Claressa is opening the door for everybody, is to be able to showcase these young talents, and with the idea of them headlining their own events sometime in the very near future.
Let me just add something to that. So the fight is being televised June 3rd by DAZN, commonly known as DAZN, for those who didn't know that. They're a prolific boxing television network. They have Anthony Joshua under contract. They have Canelo Alvarez under contract, Ryan Garcia, and many, many other great champions. For them to now have Claressa Shields on their network, it's great for them. It's great for Claressa and for Dimitri and I. We're in great company on that network. But DAZN, DAZN, will televise that night, and they have indicated to us that they will stream all of the undercard fights as well in the arena. So Detroit will be seen on national television, international television, on June 3rd, and all the fighters that Dimitri is going to bring in from Michigan will have their national and international platform that night.
Dimitri, Ronnie Duncan, CBS News Detroit. Question is for Claressa. Everyone talks about the past, but let's talk about your present. You've been more active. Your boxing IQ has gotten better. Talk about the strengths that you've gained since the last time you guys have fought. I think that's the big question that needs to be answered, because it's quite obvious you're not the same woman who fought her back then.
Yeah, well, over the past couple years, I feel like I've turned more into a pro style. I turned my punches over more. I have a higher pace now. I have a better IQ, and I've got more experience now. You know, when I had first fought against Hannah Gabriels, like I said, I was only 5-0. So being 5-0 against somebody who has 20 fights already was, even though I was great, it still was like she had the more experience, had faced more girls, and had fought more rounds, 10 rounders than me. I think she was my second 10-round fight, and that was like my second or third time having to go 10 rounds. So it was a lot in that fight, but I was able to overcome it. And even though I got knocked down, like I said, it wasn't the worst thing that has happened to me in the world. And I always gotten back up, no matter what it was in my life. So I'm not really a person that cares too much about being knocked down. It's all about what you do after. So I showed my resilience, and I've just continued to fight the best. You know, if I was worried about that fight, about how I got knocked down, I mean, I wouldn't have taken on bigger challenges after that. After that, I fought against Christina Hammer, who also had 21 fights, had been undefeated for 9 years. Then I fought against, so many girls I fought against.
Tori Nelson.
I fought against Tori Nelson, that was 17-0. I fought against Nikki Aller, she was 17-0. She came here to Detroit, and it was my fourth fight, and I knocked her out in 4 rounds. So I was fighting all these top girls early on in my career, which was really giving them a really good chance to win fights. And even Emma Cozen and Savannah Marshall, all those girls had a lot of experience, and more knockouts and all this stuff. But I have taken on the biggest challenges since fighting Gabriels, like I did before fighting her. And I have learned a lot more. And I haven't just fought here in the U.S. I've traveled to the United Kingdom, to Cardiff, New York, wherever I've had to fight at to fight against the best. And I've beaten them. So I can not only win in Detroit, but I can win anywhere.
Claressa is truly a generational talent. She's the Muhammad Ali, the Michael Jordan, the Pele, the Jackie Robinson of this generation. And while she's local, she's a bona fide superstar who's a true world champion and has beaten some of the best fighters in the world, all around the world. The fact that this event is happening here in Detroit, to those that can attend, to those that can't should watch it on the zone, but those that can attend should save the ticket because it's truly going to be collector's items, and you're going to tell your kids and your grandkids that I've attended the Claressa Shields fights at the first ever opening of boxing in Little Caesars Arena. This is going to be a historic event, a historic event on June 3rd. Go ahead, man.
Dimitri, you actually led into what I was going to ask, but for Claressa, you know, for this to not only to be your first fight back in the States, you're also doing it here in Detroit. So what does it mean for you to be not only fighting back in the States, but for it to be the first major boxing fight for you, not only here in Detroit, but as a female?
Well, it means a lot because I never seen, I felt that women's boxing could get to where it's at, but I didn't know what it would take for people to recognize women's boxing in America. In the UK, they've already been putting on big fights. They've already been doing the O2 Arena in Wembley, and Katie has been doing her thing over there along with some of the other girls. And even I went over there and fought at the O2 Arena, but I was always wondering, like, when will I get my chance here in the United States to show that women's boxing is well and alive here in America. We don't have to travel to the UK to get the big fights. Those girls should be coming here because we are the better fighters. A lot of the girls have went over there because they're paying more. It's a TV network, and it's like, no, I want to build my brand and my legacy here in the United States. So I'm happy that I get this opportunity. It's against a great opponent. It's a rematch, and it's just, I mean, everybody remembers that fight that I had in Detroit versus her. And, I mean, they shared that knockdown clip, I don't know for how long. I think the knockout clip, the knockdown clip got like 6 million views just by itself. So I'm just happy that I can actually be here, fight in front of 15,000, and finally just get rid of that stigma that women's boxing don't sell here in America, because it does. And when I go to all the major fights, I'm the athlete that's taking the most pictures. Everybody wants a picture with the GOAT, and I stand there and take pictures for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, no matter where I'm at. So I have fans all over. So not only will Detroit be in the house, but we got Flint, Vegas, Newark, New Jersey, Tennessee, LA. Everybody's going to be coming out to this fight to either cheer for me or cheer for Hannah Gabriels. So I'm excited, and just hoping that this can continue to grow the sport of women's boxing here in the U.S.
So congratulations, by the way, to Team Shields for getting this fight here. We talked a little bit earlier, you guys did, about, especially Shields, about this is checking off a box that you guys have. It's a question to all three at Team Shields. What is the vision? What other boxes do you have to check off in the future? What can you lead us into that are some goals that you guys have?
Claressa has won more undisputed world titles than any man or woman in the history of the sport, but she's not done winning undisputed world titles. I'm sure we'll have the opportunity to fight for the 168-pound undisputed title at some point. Just so happens that the woman who holds those belts right now is a heck of a fighter, Franchon Cruz. Not a lot of fighters have a first fight like Claressa Shields versus Franchon Cruz. That's a heck of a pro debut. But we wanted to make our mark early on and show that we were serious. And it was the best fight that night on the card, and the best fight on most cards even since then. A lot of punches. So there's something there. Claressa can win at least 1 or 2 more weight divisions, world titles, at least 1 or 2 more if she wants, both up and down. She could win a light heavyweight title at 75. I know this sounds crazy, but she made 154. She fights MMA at 155. For the right legacy fight at 147, Claressa Shields, and given the right time to train, there's no doubt she would go and train for it and set that record. And there's a lot of talent there, but only if they're willing to step up and really accept the challenge. In addition, this was important for Detroit. We want to headline a fight in Las Vegas. Claressa said that. We want to, we want to light up the marquee on the Las Vegas Strip, and we will. I'd love to see us headline at Madison Square Garden because it's just, she's called the GOAT. They call themselves the greatest arena on earth, and it's a place to be. And one other thing I really want to do for Claressa, and that is not only to take her to Africa and to visit the country, the people, and the historic sites where Nelson Mandela did so many great things for that country and for the world, but also to see if we can arrange a fight there. That's a real goal for ours, and we'll be on that over the next 2 years as well.
Yeah, he pretty much said everything. And my goal is just to stay undefeated in boxing. I would like to win the PFL World Championship for MMA at 155. And like you said, just some more weight classes.
She's here.
All right.
Hector, there's somebody here you might want to introduce.
Ladies and gentlemen, with you,
Let's give a round of applause for Hannah
five-time
Gabriels.
world champion, 4 divisions, from Costa Rica, Hannah Gabriels.
Good, how are you, sweetheart?
Yes, sure. Oh, yeah, let me.
Sure, go ahead. You're good.
I want to apologize. I've been traveling for the last, I don't know, day and a half or something. I haven't slept, but I am so honored to be here with all of you. I'm sorry for the delay, Claressa. My respects to all of you. It is really a privilege to be here again in Detroit, and hopefully we bring a war again that people will enjoy, and I'm honored to be here. So let me sit down and start this off.
Any questions for Hannah Gabriels?
Oh, you want me to speak? But if, I don't know.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. So, we first met Hannah in 2018. She had a public workout at downtown boxing gym in Detroit, and I'm a boxing guy. Watching her shadow box, I saw that she was the real deal. Her movement, as you can see, she's very gracious. So in the most respectful way, she's a beauty and the beast because she's beautiful, but inside the ring, she's a beast. And she showed it when she fought Claressa in 2018, and furthermore, being the light heavyweight and heavyweight champion of the world. So I'd like to invite Hannah to talk about the fight on June 3rd and what we can expect.
Okay. I'm sorry again, I wasn't informed on how that was going to go. And I want to apologize for my English in advance because it's difficult sometimes to speak. Well, we were here, yes, in 2018, and I remember that fight was a great fight. I think it was a close fight, and I wasn't mad about Claressa winning. I was mad about the cards because I think I didn't deserve those cards. Even for your fights afterwards, I don't think the other girls gave you as much of a fight, and they actually got better cards. So I am here to redeem myself. 2 years ago, you fought for the undisputed in 154, and I was still the champion there, and you avoided me for whatever reason. I am here to take what is yours. in 160, and that's about it. I am very honored. I am very proud of Claressa. Claressa has done so much, and she is actually the face, and she is actually the greatest. She has accomplished so much because it is not only about the ring, but she has handled pressure. She has backed up her words. At one moment, she said, "She'll beat my ass again." And I thought it was a strong word because I didn't feel like I got beaten. But we have the opportunity again, and I'm honored. I'm privileged. In the last 5 years, I haven't fought a lot, but I have learned a lot. Today, I'm 40 years old, and I am honored. I have to say that today for me, this fight is much more about heritage. My father used to box, and just recently we were speaking about that, and he was telling me some stories about my grandfather that was a street fighter, and my grandfather was he participated in the construction of the rails of the train in Costa Rica when there was slavery in Costa Rica. So it is about heritage today. I am so honored to carry so much and to bring it to this fight and to bring Costa Rica with me. Costa Rica is a small country, but it's a beautiful country, and I love my people, and I know that they are happy that we are here fighting the best. And hopefully, like I said before, we can give you the best fight and a better fight than the last one. I am honored to see so many great champions on this side. And thank you for listening. And I don't know if anybody has a question, I'm here for you.
Hannah, I do have a question.
You gotta have a mic.
Over here. Hannah, yep. I do have a question.
Oh.
So, off of, you talked about your layoffs and things like that. Obviously, you and Claressa have fought once before. What do you think is going to be the difference for you coming off a little bit of a layoff going into this fight, with you already having your prior experience, but off a layoff, and to be fighting who's widely considered to be the GOAT? What do you think is going to be the difference for you come the third?
Well, I would say this. In the first fight, well, I never had an amateur career. I only had one amateur fight. And so she probably is 3 times more experienced overall than me. I think that what has changed is what was evident. My defense was really bad. I never got to learn that aspect of boxing. Before, I had an injury in my back, and so I had a surgery, and many of the things that people could do, I couldn't do. So today, we have worked in the last years in the defense and many other things. I can just say that what was evident, that were my mistakes, have been corrected. And you can expect my best version this time.
Hannah, from Latino Detroit, yo quiero decir bienvenidos y
Gracias.
feliz cumpleaños.
Ay,
Y
gracias.
también yo quiero preguntar, you have said that you were not happy with the scorecards the last bout. So why come to Detroit again? Are you afraid of the scorecards this time?
No, I'm not afraid of anything. That's why I'm here. Like I said, today is more about the opportunity, because 2 years ago we could have fought at 154. I was the champion. I was WBA champion in 154. Dick Care was the other champion, and she could have fought Dick Care and then fought me, or fought me and fought Dick Care, but she didn't. So 2 years ago, I noticed that there was more potential in me that I knew about. Because if not, they would have fought me then. But they didn't. So 2 years have passed, And 2 years ago, when she fought for my title, with me being the champion there was something that was awakening me. And I have worked believing that that potential could grow. And I think I have done a good job. And I'm very happy to be here.
Sorry, I want to add to that. I want to add to the point of judges and officials. For all our televised fights in the city of Detroit, we bring in officials from outside of the state. We use some local, but many outside of the state, outside of the country, to make sure that the right person in the ring wins. We want Detroit boxing to have a good name, and while you gave a great fight, we don't feel that you won, and objectively you didn't win. You're a great fighter, but you didn't win the fight, and I'm saying, and you should feel the way you feel because you're a very talented fighter.
Boxing is a sport of appreciation, and I'm not mad of your appreciation of it.
Correct.
It is fine, and the judges were fine. Like, right. I respect the decision of the judges. I'm just here to make it different.
Good. No, so we just want to say that the right person is going to win on June 3rd.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Hannah, you talked about the mere fact that Claressa has improved as a fighter. Right here.
Right here. Yes.
You talked about the mere fact that she's improved as a fighter.
Of course.
But you do recognize you're not fighting the same person you fought back then.
Yeah.
She's got more hardware to go along with that, and the boxing IQ has improved. Talk about what you see and what she's done recently, opposed to what she did then.
Why should I talk about what you already know? You don't, okay, what I know is, do you want to know what I know? Do you want to know what I think? Because Claressa has proved to everyone everything. I don't need to recall what she's done. She has grown. She has fought more than me. I haven't fought in the last 2 years because my promoter wasn't able to get me to fight. So I'm in a little disadvantage because I've been away from the ring. What she has done is great, but it doesn't determine or is not going to define what I'm going to do. I've done my job. I've done my work. 2 or 3, well, I've been doing my work for 6 years, but in the last 2 years, like I said, I discovered something that I didn't knew I have. And I focus on the things that matter because she has the experience that I didn't have in the amateur career. And that makes me, or used to make me make a lot of mistakes. You know, I used to make a lot of mistakes because of that inexperience. But I have focus, and I think in those 2 years I have catch up. Even though that she has been fighting, even though with all the things that she has accomplished, my boxing is much better. And I just want to, ¿cómo se dice medirlo? And I want to measure it with the best and see what the outcome is going to be.
Ms. Hannah, right here.
Thank you.
Back in 2018, June, during the first round, can you give us a little memory as to how your mind
I was surprised.
Foresaw that was the most memorable scare for Claressa. So dating back then and having a second time to go in there with her again, what do we look for? You know, you was able to bring her to the mat and you got a second time around. What do we look for?
The funny story is that everybody's talking about knockout by myself. I was never talking about knockout. I've never been, oh, I knocked out Claressa and this and that. I've never been like that. This is what people has been talking about. And I know when you put down somebody like Claressa, you get credits, you know? I believe, even though I haven't fought in the last 2 years, I'm in the top pound for pound in some lists, and I think that I owe that to that knockdown. I understand from my perspective that knockouts just happen and it can happen at any time. Claressa has said that she's gonna knock me out. That's fine. I'm not intervening with her vision of things and what she has been preparing for. I can assure you that that can happen either way. When I first fought her, I came to Detroit knowing that if I didn't knock her down, I wouldn't win. I came to Detroit knowing that I didn't have the experience that she had. I came to Detroit thinking that she was stronger than me. And I came to Detroit thinking that I wasn't as strong. And all of those things were wrong. So at this moment.
You think you're stronger than me, Hannah Gabriels?
Girl.
You think you're stronger than me? That's a legit question. You think you're stronger than me?
Strength in boxing don't matter, and I'm about to show you that.
Boom.
Boxing does matter. Strength matters. Skill matters.
Sure,
Heart matters.
Girl, sure.
And I don't know what you thought about the first fight, but I'll tell you one thing. One thing I can tell you that I know for sure. You're not stronger than me. You tough, but you're not stronger than me. And just to clarify something, why we didn't fight at 54, I was WBA super champ. So whatever rules that they had,
me from the super champion status to give you that belt.
Yes.
I cannot tell no organization what to do. I'm super champ at 160, and what happens what happens when you are super champ is your belt goes to whatever weight class you went to.
I was the WBA super
my
welter champion,
160
and
belt
they downloaded me to the
That's how I fought for
regular
undisputed.
champion status because Claressa and the Care were going to fight for the undisputed because it was a historic event. And so I understood the big picture. But I was still the champion. So, with that said, you like to interrupt people while they're speaking?
I didn't avoid you. That's the point.
You like to interrupt
Yes,
people?
I do. But that's why you need to understand you were never avoided. Nobody avoided you. That organization did that. I just go and fight. That's it. They call me. This who you fighting, and I say okay.
Claressa?
That's it.
Claressa,
You're
speaking like if you don't have a whole team behind you creating all of this growth thing. Please do not act like all the people over here don't know how the business work. We are not stupid. And I was the super champion. And I made a statement the day before your fight, because if I didn't say nothing, then your narrative will be you didn't say anything. So, nothing that has happened matter right now. I am here, and I have had the worst flight of my life to come to your face and tell you, I'm ready. I'm ready to give you what you say in Taylor and Serrano fight. In the interview you said that because you were too good, you could never have a war fight like Taylor and Serrano. Because your level of skills are so high, nobody can give you that. And I'm here to give you that.
Respect.
I'm glad I only expect the reciprocity.
I have
So
respect
don't worry
for
about
you.
it.
I have respect, but for him to be how he is, and y'all to think that I avoided you, that's just not true. I'm happy that me fighting for undisputed ignited a fire in you to where you felt like
you fought for
you got
undisputed in
overlooked.
154, and I was the champion. Facts are facts,
and that
narratives are narratives, and that's about it.
3-time undisputed champion is facts.
Sure, Claressa.
It is.
Sure.
It's not sure. It's on the paperwork.
I mean, like.
And if we're talking about, I don't have to speak about my boxing belts. I already know what's up. I don't have to speak about that. But what I do know is you've come here to Detroit, and then you also said, because I wasn't going to talk while you was talking, but you said that other girls got better scorecards. I'm going to be honest with you. I beat everybody 90 to 100.
Yeah, well,
Then Savannah Marshall, she won 2 rounds. Oh, but everybody get done the same.
The scorecards are gonna be 9, 10, and 9 because that's how they score. I mean to say now with the scorecards, like the fight, my fight, our fight was better than all of those fights. All of those fights.
But I still want a majority
And
of the
this
rounds.
fight is gonna be better than all of those fights. And I'm taking your belts.
I don't think
because
so.
you took mine in 54 and you avoided me, and I'm about to show you that was a big mistake.
Yes.
That's about it.
I'm glad she feel that way. Give it up for her. Hurry up. Go and give it up, because she deserved that. That's why we made the fight happen. She's the next best. I wanted Savannah Marshall to come over here, but we got Hannah Gabriels, who's a dog, who I think that a lot of the girls have avoided in this boxing. But Claressa Shields has not avoided her, ever. And I can understand the hate of me being undisputed at 54. I get it. People gonna hate. They're gonna be mad. But me being as great as I am is not a narrative. It's facts. That's all. It's facts.
June 3rd, right here from Little Caesars Arena, the undisputed middleweight world title, live on the Zone. These ladies are gonna face off now, and we'll see you next week. I do want to say that tickets have been on sale for 36 hours. More than 1,000 have been sold. It's going to be a sold-out event. Get your tickets today and witness this historic event. Live here at Little Caesars Arena and on the Zone.